right. Yay. Well, thank you for hopping on, you guys. This is such an exciting call because some of us just had an incredible experience at Summit and want to share that with you if you couldn't be there. And it's such a life-changing event because we got to really connect not only with each other, but with other coaches and really hear best practices. And it was just so much fun. And so we're going to share with you, I'm going to share with you first kind of some things that are coming up, which you can be really excited about, kind of some of the announcements that they made. And then there were 4 other people who were able to go that are on this call. So they're just going to quickly share with you 1 to 2, maybe 3 of their best takeaways, like best practices that they took away from Summit. And I encourage them going into Summit. You hear so many things and you're like, it's easy to go, I should be doing this and this and this and this and this. And that's not what this call is for, and that's not what Summit is about. This is to give you ideas so that you can move your business forward as it best fits you. So don't hear what I have to say and what maybe Heather or Katie or Lisa have to say and go, oh my gosh, I have so much that I have to do. Don't do that. Just write things down, take notes, and make stars next to the things that you want to visit first, and then maybe make a dash next to the things that you want to visit after that. So you're not feeling overwhelmed, because that's not the point. Because if you walk into Summit and you take everything, you could easily go, I'm doing everything wrong, because every coach has a different way of doing things. So just keep that in mind. So don't feel like this has to be you, but you could always see if it fits you well. Okay, so Summit was in Indianapolis this year. It was fantastic. We had a great time. We all stayed in this condo together, and it was a blast, and it was way bigger than we thought it was going to be in there, and that was so fun. We all got to stay there together, and there was a kitchen, and we didn't even touch it, but there was it was like a 20-foot long air hockey board and a dart board and foosball table. I mean, it was just decked out. It was so much fun. But we just got to be together, and we walked to Whole Foods and got some food so we could eat breakfast and, snacks and, some lunches and have our shakes in there. And it was just a blast to be together. And I had never met Katie in person, so that was so fun to meet her and, I feel like I know her. I mean, I did feel like I knew her, but I had never met her in person. So that's the best part about Summit, is getting to meet all these people you see all the time online, but maybe haven't met in person. And I tell this story a lot, but Katie did the exact same thing that everybody says. It's just so funny when you see people in person, because she was like, you're taller than I thought you would be, which is so funny because everybody has said that to me that I've met through the Beachbody world. Excuse me. And so it's just so funny how you kind of get this picture of people in your mind, then you meet them and you're like, oh, that's what you're really like, or, so that was fun. We did a lot of great things as a team. We got to go to a bunch of workshops. We got to go to the opening session, which was so empowering. They had some amazing announcements, which you probably saw on the team page that I'm going to go over here in a second. They had the closing ceremonies, which it was so powerful because they share these stories about the finalists for the Beachbody challenge. And all of us, I'm sure all of us were tearing up at some point. I mean, it's just so powerful seeing the way that people's lives have been changed. They honor the top 10 coaches and the top coach of the year. And it was such a great experience. We all got to work out. We got to pick to work out with whatever trainer we wanted to or was available. And so 4 of us got to work out with Joel and do the new Lift 4 workout, which was so much fun. And Lisa got to work out with Tony Horton, which was a blast. And she can talk about that when she shares too. But so it was just like there's so many things, and just the chance to be together and just brainstorm about things. And we spent like a whole night brainstorming. And we went out to dinner and had yummy food. And it's going to be back in Indianapolis next year. So I highly encourage you to really think about buying your ticket now, because it's $130, which it goes way higher after July 9th, and it is a steal for what you get when you go. It's just so empowering in so many ways. So I want to share with you, before the girls share a little bit, about some of the announcements they made. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. Hold on just a second. So before I share about that, a quick announcement. If you didn't see this, there is going to be a Lift for preview workout with Joel live this Saturday, okay? And it's at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific. And so it's basically just a free preview workout that you can invite people to. And then there's a live Q&A with Joel afterwards, which is really cool. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to hop on at 9. And we had tentative plans this Saturday already. So that's why I haven't really advertised it, because I don't want to be like, hey, jump on with me, and I'm not there. But I'm hoping I'll be able to jump on, at least experience it. But if you can, jump on and invite people to do it with you. Another really cool thing that they announced is that they are going to be launching a seasonal trial run of pumpkin spice Shakeology, which I am super excited about, because, you know, pumpkin spice, everything is wonderful. So there's only a limited amount, excuse me, a limited amount. And so it's going to go fast. So just prep people. I think it's a 14-day supply of it. I think it's like $74. So it is a little pricey, but I think it's going to be delicious. So I'm assuming if it goes well, they'll keep doing it and probably make more. They just probably want to make sure it's going to sell. Another wonderful announcement they made was that on October 22nd, Shift Shop is going to be relaunching. It's going to still have the same workouts in it, but it's going to have a new calendar, and they're adding 4 new workouts in there. So from what I can remember, it's the same schedule, you know, so you do like strength. The first week you do strength. First day is whatever, is speed 25. Tuesday is strength 25. Wednesday is speed 25, Thursday is strength 25, and then you go to what he has called the proving grounds. And basically, it's a way for you to beat your previous time. So you see how you're going to go, and these 4 new workouts are going to help you do, see, basically you have like a sheet, you get to write down your time for things and how many more maybe push-ups you did. So each week you can see that you are increasing in what you got to do. So, that's really exciting. And so new packages are going to be available, and that's going to be October 22nd. They're going to launch the coach test group, I think, on the 15th with Chris. And we are going to also be doing a Team Elevate. Oh my gosh, I just said something. I can't get this out of my throat. I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on just a second. Just like we're doing with Lift 4, we're going to be doing a team-wide Shift Shop challenge group, test group. So it'll be a really fun opportunity to invite people to, especially people that maybe love Shift Shop before. This would be a great way to get them signed up as a coach, because if they sign up as a coach, they can be in the exclusive coach test group with Chris Downey. So it's a great motivator for people to be like, oh, okay. And you could just say, I'll just plug you into my team page and into this group. There's no pressure, but then they get to see what the coaching world is all about and really feel connected to our coaching tribe. And they're going to get that in the big, large, exclusive test group with Chris, but also in our Team Elevate test group. So they can kind of experience both, which will be great. And then in January, the big announcement that everybody was like so excited about, and I am too, is you probably saw it. Shaun T is coming out with a new workout. It's called Transformation 20. So they're only 20-minute workouts. They're on a step. So if you have a step, you can just use that. They said you don't really need any special equipment. It's just the step. So if you don't have a step, you can get one through Beachbody. But if you have one, it'll work just fine. And there are no weights involved from what he said. He basically said it's insanity on a step. So that's kind of scary. But he said that he mentioned that you're burning just as many calories in those 20 minutes as you are in a lot of his other workouts, because of the intensity of it. But anybody can do it, and there will be a modifier and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about that, because Beachbody hasn't come out with anything like that before. And Shaun T is, I love him. I love to hate him when I'm working out, but I love him when I do his workouts. So I am really excited about that. So like I said, that launches mid-January. Packages will become available in December for that. And we'll also be doing a Team Elevate group for that as well. So there's a lot of really, really exciting things happening. And at the end, I'm going to kind of share with you briefly kind of some ideas that we have for our team that we're going to do moving forward. But before we do that, I would really love to have these ladies share about their experience. And everybody, I'm sure everybody had different takeaways. But if some of your takeaways were the same, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. That was the one thing I forgot. I'll touch on that in just a second. if there's something that someone says that meant a lot to you, just say it again. Okay, it doesn't matter, because if it hit home with a couple people, then it's probably a good thing to repeat. So you don't have to go into detail about it, but don't feel like you're like, oh, those are mine. If that happens, just please share it anyways. I did forget to mention, thank you, Lisa, is that there is a 2B Mindset certification happening in September. So you can become certified in the 2B Mindset to be basically a 2B Mindset instructor. And so the way that that's going to work is that you would get put into a large group. There'd be a series of videos with Alana that you'd have to watch, and then she would make herself available, it sounds like, for questions at certain times. So you could ask questions of her, and you get to go through the training at your own pace. I think they said it's $99 for that, and then $7 to stay in the mastermind, the 2B Mindset mastermind group, which is the trainer group. And then and then after that, you take a test to become a certified trainer in the 2B Mindset. So, and what she's doing in the videos is she's going into detail about the science behind 2B Mindset and why it works and why she has you eating certain plated ways and all that stuff. So thank you, Lisa, for reminding me about that, because that slipped my mind when I was writing down my notes. Just because I'm looking in order like this, I see Heather first. So maybe Heather can share first, and then we'll kind of go, I see Heather, and then Lisa, and then Katie, if that works. Great.
Neat. Well, when I wrote down my takeaways after going through my notes, I came up with 7 different things. So don't worry, I'm not going to take too long. I'll just briefly go through them, but I felt like they were all like really good. It's really hard after you attend something like Summit to narrow it down to 2 or 3 things. So the first thing was I really liked, and honestly, I don't remember who all said these things. It just really stuck out to me, and so that's what I wrote down. But this is a person-to-person business. This is not a person-to-people business. And they described a little bit about how sometimes we think, oh, well, I make a post and that's still person-to-person, but really, it really does boil down to the invite and the sharing and the personal invitation. Because if we're not personally interacting with people, we can't expect our business to grow, because we have to earn people's trust through it. So I just really, I knew that, but it just really struck a chord of like, yes, a good reminder that it's not about me just going to the masses through my posts. It's about me being person to person, whether that be through social media or out and about with each person that I come and interact with. The second thing was, I really like this one. It said, our business moves at the pace of trust. And it's not about hard work, it's about heart work. And that just really struck a chord with me, because I think oftentimes it's like, well, I feel like I'm doing things, but it really is about earning people's trust. And if you think about that in the terms of life, it takes time. And it's the same way, and it's consistency in the business that builds the trust. And so that was just a really good reminder to me. Number 3 was importance of office hours and really having realistic goals. And I've been in this business for, well, I think like 18 months now, or coming up on that. And I remember, Margot, you telling me at the beginning, it's so important to establish office hours. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not at the level that you're at. I'm sure I'll be okay. I can do this. And now I am like, oh my gosh, why did I not listen? Because it's just really important. I think what I've learned about establishing office hours, it is for my sake, but it's more so in valuing the people that I love. It's valuing my family. It's valuing others. That is a reason it helps me be disciplined and to value others by establishing office hours. I think somebody talked about like taking the kind of bigness out of the invite process. Sometimes the invite process of our power hour can be the thing that we like the least. At least for me, that seems to be that way sometimes. But that an invite really is just about us sharing, and just sharing our heart and sharing the opportunity and just leaving it at that. And if we look at an invite and not thinking about it necessarily as an invite, but just sharing that, that makes it really makes it easy. This one person said, what value am I adding to others in the life phase I'm currently in? And that's really stuck with me. That I want to be talking about value of where I'm at, not where I want to be, but where I'm currently at, and really taking that where I'm at currently in my life phase to impact and add values to others that might be in the same life phase. I think what I also took away from Summit is the importance of team and doing things together. So many teams that you see up on stage, and even coaches who were like, I didn't do this by myself, and they pulled their team in, and then even us just having the team time to really talk and to be together. Like, that's what I love about Summit, is just being together and being reminded that I'm not doing this alone. We're in this together. We can draw on one another's strengths and weaknesses. And so I love that. And then the last thing was just don't discount sharing the little successes that either you or your challengers have. And I think oftentimes we can get set on just the person that loses 20 pounds or the person that we're going to help lose 100 pounds. But really, it's about the little successes. It's about sharing those with others about, hey, this person wasn't able to not eat a bag of chips every day, and now they've gone 3 days without eating a bag of chips. I mean, that's huge. And so I think it's looking for those little things and really making them bigger than just the weight loss successes that we oftentimes praise. So those are my takeaways. So much more. So fun to be all together. So fun to meet Lisa in person. So fun to meet Katie in person. It's crazy, you guys. You feel like you've known these people your whole lives, and then you get to meet them, and they're really strangers, but they're not. And it's so fun. So make sure you're there. It's well worth all of it.
Yay! Thank you for sharing. I love those takeaways. It was good reminders to hear them again. So good. So, yay! And Lisa, I'm looking at you next.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes? Yes? No?
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself.
Okay, it's going. All right, yes, okay. All right. So I think my biggest thing was, Heather touched on it a little bit, but there was someone that was talking about basic, you obviously are probably looking for people that are a lot like you. And so to be genuine and to be honest about, this is the phase in my life that I'm in. And just, I think the thing that I took away, because sometimes it can get really intimidating. You have all these like quadruple star diamonds and these elite coaches, and you're like, dang, I am not even anywhere close to being that, and I don't know how they do it. And sometimes you can just get stuck in your head, and that comparison cycle can kind of start. But the thing is it's like, I can take away amazing things from them, but I have to be me, and I have to be genuinely who I am and not who someone else is, if that makes sense. And that's going to attract people that are in the same phase of life as me, and they're going to trust that, and they're going to respect that more, because they're going to see it as, wow, she's real, like this can work in real life. And so like one of the practical things they talked about with that is just even like think about who you're targeting to and just use hashtags for that. And I'm like, I never even thought about using a hashtag like single mom life, but like that's huge for me, because I can relate to it. If mom comes to me and says, I don't have time for this, I'm a single mom, I'm working, it's like, I get it, me too. And this is how I've overcome that. And so there was another workshop that talked about objections, and that, I think that one was probably the most practical for me, because I don't want to feel like I'm selling something to someone, but I also get frustrated when I'm like, I don't know how to overcome these objections. So a lot of times somebody's like, well, I just can't do this. And you're like, okay, I don't know what else to say. And you just kind of let it go. But what they said is acknowledge those challenges that they have and say, I completely understand where you're coming from. And this is why, like, I've had self, and relate to them, and then show them how you overcame that in your own life. And she was just saying that's really a good way to kind of help them see that these barriers don't have to be barriers anymore in their own lives, that it's very practical and easy to be able to overcome this. So like, oh, my challenge is I just don't have time ever. And it's like I completely understand my life is busy as well, but that's why Lift 4 is such a great program because I only have to work out 4 days a week for 30 minutes. And I just wake up half an hour earlier and I've got it done. Like I've had to schedule it, but I can make it happen because this is a very practical program. And I'm saving time because I don't have to drive to the gym. I don't have to take my kid into the gym daycare. I don't have to worry about, I think even just in this last week, talking to people about this new program, I've been putting a lot of that into practice, that I can validating their concerns. They're scared of change. And so really just validating that and saying, I understand that. And it's understandable that you feel that way, but we can help overcome those together. To who I am, because that's what's going to speak to people. And I think the consistency part too, that like, how many times do we post all the time and we're like, nobody's even paying attention and I don't think anybody's even watching. And then suddenly you're shocked that this person messages you and says, hey, I've been watching your posts for months and I know I need to change and I know you're the one to help me. Like, you've never liked anything, you've never commented on anything, and then suddenly they're asking you for help. And I've had that happen even this week. And it's just like, okay, consistency is key. And I think that's what people look for, that this isn't a quick fix for us. This is taken, obviously it takes months to see change sometimes, but seeing that in us and seeing that we're also real. And I think even with Margot, I love that you're like, hey, I'm a mom and life happens and this is crazy. Like even your post about your adorable little girl who wouldn't smile except looking in the mirror today. I'm like, dang, that's mom life. That's real life. But people relate to that when they see you as a real person and not as just some just fit, perfect person on Instagram. And so I think that's probably was my biggest takeaway. I mean, there was a lot more practical little things too, but I think that to me was a good umbrella thing that I could apply to everything. So.
That's awesome. And the cool part is, Lisa, I can tell, like, you took so much from that and you applied it to your posts already, and you took like the little tips that they gave you and you've gotten so much traction since like the things you learned at Summit, like, which is so cool.
So, yeah. So one of the things I applied in my post this week, two things one thing I never thought about was don't give away all the answers. And I was tagging Beachbody and everything. I was hashtagging 80-day obsession, and they're like, don't do that, because then they're going to be like, oh, well, I'll just go Google. And so give them enough information to make them curious so they'll ask, but not enough that they don't need you. And so that's where I'm like, hey, I got this great program. I'd love to tell you about it. And they're like, tell me about this program, please. And I've had so many people just message me about that. And the other tip that I used this week was to like say, make it exclusive. So, and this is just a simple marketing tool, but if you say there's a limited amount of space in my group, it makes it seem a lot more exclusive and people will jump on that a lot more and they will be more apt to commit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a fun picture and there's this big hill with a D on it. And I'm like, I'm going to do the determined dozen. And I've almost got my 12 filled up. In fact, I might have to do the tenacious 20. I don't know. But so it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm like just blown away by the response that I've gotten and people that I've been talking to about this for months. And I think just riding this momentum from this new program has really helped. And I think that's why we need to really be aware of the new programs that are coming out, talking about them before they come out so that people are just as excited as we are. So.
And I think it's really important, like, to kind of piggyback off of what you said, like, for if you're a newer coach or you're a coach that maybe has been in it for a while and hasn't been running the business or whatever it may be, like, that was kind of Lisa going into Summit was frustrated because people weren't joining her. Like, she wasn't getting people, like, people are like, you couldn't get people to stay consistent in your groups, right? And then now all of a sudden she applied all this stuff and like all these people, it took this program to kind of like move, like help people move, but they've been watching her this whole time because she's kept posting and she posted about every day of her 80-day obsession and she just stayed consistent. And, you know, even though she didn't see it at the time, like she took what she learned here and she used the program launch to really like catapult, and it just like exploded because people have been watching her and seeing, you know,
Right.
so it was just really, it's cool to see. So thanks for sharing that, Lisa. I'm really excited for you. And Lisa got a promotion while we were at Summit, so that was so fun.
Yeah, not a Beachbody promotion,
No.
but
No,
but
but
I do have a
we
new
got to
Emerald
celebrate
coach.
with her.
I do have a new Emerald coach as of today. So
You're what?
one of my coaches hit Emerald today, so that was exciting.
That's so
Yes.
exciting.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. Yeah.
Well, and that was interesting because I wanted to use the momentum from Summit. I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to do a live video and invite friends if they've got questions. And I just addressed everything and everybody's questions. And so this discount coach of mine, she's like, I want to invite my friend, and she signed up for the it was like a $220 challenge pack that includes on demand and 2B mindset and Shakeology. I'm like, dang, okay, let's do this. And so I think she just needed to, because she was such a new coach, she needed somebody else to kind of come and explain it. And so it was like, dang. And I had probably more interaction on that live video. I had 10 to 12 people that were constantly engaging in the video, which was really good too. So
that's awesome. Yay. Love those stories. So cool. Katie, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to just share is, well, two things. Number one, Summit is awesome. I remember signing up as a coach, and Summit was, I watched like the live broadcast of like the opening ceremonies from my couch, and I was like, I have to be there. It looks so awesome. And then we were there, and like, it was just really, really awesome. And so you should go. So that's my plug for that. For me, it was a huge game changer because I definitely, and probably a lot of us, like to be around people. Maybe not like a huge crowd, but like the personal face-to-face interaction. And so for me, being at Summit and getting to talk to some other coaches, but then actually getting to meet like all of the coaches that I feel like I already. Oh, you can barely hear me. Should I talk louder?
That's better.
Oh, that's better. Okay, sorry. So far away.
Yeah, when you're closer to the computer, we can hear you better.
No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, thanks, Lisa. Anyway, so it was just really awesome, and to get to meet everyone was just really. It wasn't just like good for my business, but it was like good for my soul, and so it was just great. Also, one of the coolest things was they talk, like in all the sessions, they talk about the like business, like Lisa and Heather were talking about like practical tips, but they also I'll try not to. You're such a circle. I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, so they go through all of this like personal development. So like there was a comedian there, and she was really funny, but she did these things. One of the things she did was like she had you pick a shape, and then from your shape it kind of talks a little bit about your personality. And so there were 4 shapes, and anyway, so so I was a triangle, but Lisa was a circle, and Margaret was a square, and Heather was a triangle. But anyway, those are types of things that like they seem silly, but they really, I think for all of us, they sort of made us more aware of like ourselves and like how we think and how we run our business, and that not everyone is like us. So while we're sharing our own journey and stuff, we also kind of need to take others into consideration. So that brings me to my next point. And one of the things they talked about was speaking to people's pain points, which kind of goes along with what Heather and Lisa said. Trying to put some of those objections, trying to address some of those objections within your post. So for example, like, if you know that like I'm a mom, I have 3 kids. So like if I know that time is of the essence, I might put into one of my posts something about how I'm really, it's really convenient for me to not have to go to the gym, or I can get a really great workout in 30 minutes, or if one day I'm running low on time, I could do like a 15-minute workout or whatever, because I have on demand or whatever. So trying to speak to trying to address objections within our posts, and that's going to help kind of bring people to us and make us more relatable. Let's see. One thing I I mean, I thought about this, but I think it's really important is sometimes I feel like I lack material to share. Like, oh, I don't have like a big change, you know, or like I don't have anything pertinent to share, but we can share our challengers' successes. We can share successes of other coaches. You know, even just like a coach that, you know, like a coach that made, you know, some extra money and she was able to like take her kids out to dinner, like go on vacation or, you know, whatever it is, like something small that will speak to, again, your audience. It doesn't always have to be about me specifically, you know, that also makes us more like trustworthy because it shows that we're helping other people and that we're not just like helping ourselves. Making sure to share all parts of our journey. So big successes, little successes, the good things, the bad things. And then just remembering that, like, even if it seems monotonous to us, like for a while I was sharing every day on my Instagram stories, and I don't really know if I think people watch it, but like I'm trying to get into the habit of making my bed. So like every day, you know, I make my bed and I share a little picture. But it just, for someone, they're going to look at that and be like, wow, like good for her, or wow, that's like, she's so, you know, lame. But either way, they relate me to making my bed. So like, you know, sharing things that even, especially in your Instagram stories, if you're sharing similar things every day, like that's okay, you know, because it's almost like you become like a reliable, like consistent person, even if you're just sharing about making your bed or you're sharing about, you know, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, but whatever. So just being consistent, sharing all parts of our journey. And then I think Lisa talked about it, maybe Heather too, but embracing the season. So like, yes, we want to figure out who our people are and who our tribe would be, but also like whatever season of life we're in, it really embracing that. So, you know, like right now for me, for all of us, it's the summertime. So, you know, most everybody else is in the summer. So it's kind of like, you know, you have all your kids at home, although if you're Heather, you have your kids at home all the time anyway, God bless you. You know, but if you're, you know, the summertime is a specific season. And then for me, like, this is a season of life, but also a season of just in general, like I coach field hockey. So for me, like speaking to people who maybe like if it's soccer season or field hockey season, or, you know, that you have a busy schedule in the evenings and stuff, like that's the season that I'm in. And so in my posts, I'm going to talk about that and discuss that, because then I'm not coming up with new content, because that's actually what's happening in my life. And also people can relate to it because there are other people that are coaching or taking their kids to things and stuff like that. If you're a new mom, if you're a, you know, newly married or engaged or whatever, those are the seasons of life, and we should be embracing them. And that's the content that we should be sharing, because that's actually what we're doing. And so, you know, it may seem boring to us, but like anybody else who's going through that same thing is not going to think so. So, and then just the power hour thing, definitely being structured with the power hour, setting my timer. Here's what I'm doing for 5 minutes. Here's what I'm doing for 5 minutes, you know, 10 minutes, whatever. That has just taken a lot of pressure off of me, and I know what I'm doing when I sit down to do it. So that's it.
Yay. Thank you, Katie. Those are all good things. Like I said, it's just so good to be reminded about all those things. And a couple of other things that I want to share that kind of hit home with me that hopefully will be helpful to you guys too is a couple of the, hold on, just a second here. Okay, there we go. A couple of things that were said were, one of the things that I can't remember who said it, but they said, remember, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And I think that really hit home with me, because sometimes we worry so much about what we say to people, but really, if your heart is right and you care about people, you can't say the wrong thing. You're not going to mess it up if it's the right person. And then a couple people shared, you know, share regularly and embrace your season. Like Katie was just talking about, so important. Somebody else said, document, don't create. Okay, so you're documenting your life. Don't feel like you have to create new things. Just document what you're doing. Represent the lifestyle. There are a lot of people that stress like work out before the day starts if you aren't already, because it just shows people your consistency, plus it gets done. And if you do nothing else in this business, invite. That was a big thing. And then one other thing that really hit me, kind of talking in relation to being, a girl boss and, being just present and doing your power hour. They said, do you show up like this is a $39 business, a 6-figure business, or $1 million business? And I thought, oh, ouch. Are you showing up like it's a $39 business? Because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a $39 business back. Or are you showing up like it's a 6-figure business so that you can really see things start to pay off? So that really hit home to me. So it was a great experience. I highly encourage you to get on there. I'm going to ask these ladies to pop on over the next couple of weeks. I'll set up a little schedule. I'm going to ask them to pop on and share maybe something else that was practical that we can apply to our business with you guys, something that was a takeaway for them. Because I think that that's really the cool thing, is that, a lot of us were talking about things that really meant a lot to us personally, and how it gave momentum to our business and our hearts. And I think that if we could take those things and kind of give you one thing at a time, and help you get some of those practical tips that we've taken away and give them to you to share, that's really going to be beneficial to you. So I'll create a little schedule if you ladies are willing to do that, because I think that will be great. One night I want to close up with just talking about a little bit about the teen vision for this year. So I'm going to be really transparent right now with you guys, because that's what I do. I have been working really, really hard in this business for almost 3 years. And I, moved up to Emerald really quickly, and I went from Emerald to Diamond. I've been Diamond this whole time with 1 star. I woke up this morning as an Emerald coach. Okay, so here's the deal. Life happens, seasons happen. This morning, it was really hard for me to look at that, because I feel like it doesn't reflect my work. And then I had a moment realizing it's not about a title. It's not about a title. It's about how many people I get to help and how many people I get to touch. It's about the people that I get to work with, like you all. And I'm going to bust my booty to get that up. Okay. Because the thing about this is that I can't control other people, but I can control myself. I can control what I do, and I can control what I put in. And as hard as that was for me to wake up and see that, it lit a fire underneath me to realize that I can be sharing more about this business opportunity. And I think that's something that we often shy away from, because we're scared that people are going to think of us a certain way. But if we do it in a way like everybody has said, and we just share about this and share about our tribe and what we have, and create a family atmosphere in our team, what's going to happen is people are going to be drawn to that, because people don't want another network marketing company. They want a team and a tribe of people that they belong to. And that was what was so special about Summit. It was so special to feel like we had our tribe, we had our people, and then we had other people that expanded outside of our tribe that are in other teams above us or around us. And that was so fun too. So with that being said, we are going to do what we're going to call Team Elevate Empire. We're going to call them family nights, and those are going to be our team calls. And so these are going to happen consistently, and they're going to happen on the 1st and the 3rd Thursday of every single month. We're going to aim to keep them at 30 minutes because we know that time is precious, but we want to have regular connection time so that we can connect with each other. And at least one of those nights, we're going to ask each coach to come with a high, low, and a let's grow moment. Okay, so what that means is you can have 2 minutes to share a high of the last 2 weeks, a low of the last 2 weeks, and a way that you can grow through it, so that we can, as a tribe and as a family, connect with one another, know how to be there for each other, pray for each other, and help to encourage each other in our businesses forward. And then on those on our family night calls, we'll also be having a training of some sort. So whether it's a guest speaker or whether it's me sharing a best practice tip, so that we can connect and we can move our businesses forward together. So please mark your calendars. We'd love it if you could be on, because I think those times are going to be invaluable for you to feel connected and also to have moments to grow. So I'm really super excited about that. And we also are going to have themes for our family night, because we thought that would be fun. So it might just be everybody show up in your pajamas, okay? Or everybody grab your favorite hot drink. or everybody, grab you can bring a glass of wine or whatever it is. Okay. So that we can have some fun things because that's what we got to feel at Summit. We got to feel that connection and we got to feel that tribe and that connectedness. And we want to create that even though we're looking at each other through a screen so that we can really feel connected. So I'm super excited about that. So it's the first and third Thursday. And if there's a conflict, you'll know way ahead of time, or we'll still have them. If I can't be on for some reason because of a scheduling or a kid issue, I'll give it to someone else to be the point person. So, but we want to hear from everybody too. So that's going to be great, and I'm super excited about that. And I am going to keep moving. I'm going to keep pushing. I have set, like I shared in the team page, I've moved from using my phone in my business as much as possible, and I'm trying to just do things on the computer because I'm trying to really be present for my family. And that's honestly a very hard change for me because I'm so used to picking up my phone and working the business in the cracks of my day when my kids are doing their quiet time or whatever. But I think in the long run, it's going to be really beneficial. So I think that I would encourage you, kind of like what Heather talked about, to do that as well. It is so important to maintaining balance and longevity in the business to set times to work on the business. Even if it's just sitting down and turning on that timer and doing 5 minutes of inviting, 5 minutes of responding to people, 5 minutes of just reaching out to people on social media, commenting on their posts, just saying something kind to them that's going to make their day. 10 minutes of responding to your challenge group, 5 minutes of continuing to add people to your dream team. Whatever it may be, it's going to move your business forward if you are intentional about it. So I am excited and looking forward to that and can't wait to do this with you guys. And I'm so thankful for all of you. Does anybody have any questions or anything they forgot to say or want to bring up? No? I have something in my teeth and no one told me. Could you guys see it? From dinner? Good thing there's a screen between us because you probably couldn't see it very well. Okay, I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to pray over our team. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can feel free to log off at this time. But if you'd like to, I'd love to pray over your businesses and our team and for our team. Because I know the power of prayer is powerful. So, but like I said, if you're not comfortable, you can feel free to hop off. I'm going to pray for us. Lord, thank you for today. I thank you for each person that hopped on this call. I thank you more than anything for their hearts. I thank you for the way that they are seeking to grow and to help others. And I pray that you would just continue to honor that in our businesses and in our lives. I pray that you would help us have balance, God, to put the most important things in our lives first, but also really put the time into this business that we know that we need to in order to make it thrive and work and be a ministry to others. And I just thank you so much for Summit. I thank you for that experience. And I thank you for these ladies that just have come to mean so much to me, whether they were there or not. And I just pray for the people that you are going to put us in contact with. I pray that you would just continue to bring them into our lives and that you would use us to really just help people get healthy from the inside out, because that's not going to last if it's not from the inside out. So we thank you, we praise you, in your name we pray. Amen. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. And I'll put up the recording if you know someone that wanted to watch it, I'll put up the recording tomorrow. So, okay. Bye. See you guys.